Cooper Flag. Never wanted him. More like Pooper Flag. It is over, Heat Nation. The losing streak is over. And I hate to jump to conclusions, okay? I hate to just throw it out there. But after watching Andrew Wiggins these last two games, we may be back. I think we may be back. I'm not sure if we're back, but it kind of feels like listen, we're back in the win column. All right, let's just take it one step at a time. The Miami Heat just won a game for the first time in 20 days. 20 days, dude. That is too long to go between wins. Too much. It was bad for all our healths. I didn't like it. And also, I didn't like it. 122-105 is your final tonight. Andrew Wiggins, 42 points on the night. The dude was an absolute behemoth. But the thing that I liked about him today, he's had some pretty sparkling quarters in his Heat career and had a great game this last game where he scored 30, but only 2 of them came in the fourth quarter. He kept shooting today. They kept finding it. The ball just kept finding him. And this guy could not miss. 42 points, 16 of 21 from the field, 6 of 8 from downtown. What a game it was for Andrew Wiggins. Maple Jordan has officially arrived. Highest scoring game of the season for the Miami Heat, passing Tyler Hero's 40 pieces. And ironically enough, has done something in a regular season game that the man who's coming here in a few days and visiting on Tuesday never did in a Miami Heat jersey in the regular season. He had plenty of them in the playoffs, but never did it in the regular season. Andrew Wiggins does and was the absolute catalyst tonight. Shout out to him. The Miami Heat got out to a little bit of a slow start, lackluster in this game, but in the second quarter, this puppy flipped, and Miami just all of a sudden couldn't miss. It was a 28-6 run to end that second quarter to go into the first half, and really shouldered by Andrew Wiggins and Tyler Hero. And you got to give a lot of credit to Tyler. Big bounce back for him after a really tough night against the Houston Rockets, although it does seem like he was probably playing with some kind of ailment in that one. And also, we came into this game not knowing were Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero going to be able to go, and they did play through pain and were able to get this funk to come to an end. And it does feel like a breath of fresh air for this organization. All tanking things aside, this plume of stink just couldn't go on anymore, man. It really was getting brutal. And Miami was able to really flip it on its head. But then in that third quarter, the ball just kept finding Andrew Wiggins. And this cat could not miss from downtown. It was crazy. I mean, he put them up, and the Hornets were just shook. Like every time this guy was hitting buckets for them. Jesus. So very impressive from him. I would say in the fourth quarter, you got a little bit of the willies. Got to like 13 there with about 5 minutes left. Miles Bridges gets an and one. And then Bam Adebayo, who was also playing through an injury where his knee got landed on, he gets a bucket. But then the big dagger really to cinch this game up. Ball on the break. Tyler Hero gets it to Davion Mitchell, who swings it to Andrew Wiggins. Boom. Hits another three ball. Miami goes up 108-90 with about 5 minutes left to put Andrew Wiggins at 35 points on the night. And very, very special performance from him. Very, very special performance from him tonight. There's no doubt about that. And I got to say, I thought Kalel had some really impressive moments tonight as well. He is putting together, I would say, out of the guys who have, it's been tough to find good stuff over all this run or whatnot, but Kalel, he's really starting to seemingly find his own these last 3 games, I would say. He's scored 14, 16, and 12. He had 12 rebounds, 14 rebounds, and 8 rebounds tonight. He had a 3-block game, a 2-block game, and he had a really nice exchange where he got a bucket and then a block on Nurkic. He had 5 assists tonight. Kalel Ware, sneakily a good passer, can really get guys involved and trying and has some really good moments of finding his teammates. So I think that's been impressive from the young buck. It feels good. Look, let's not but I don't want to overblow it by throwing my helmet away. I do realize that the Miami Heat have gone this month and they've beaten 2 opponents, and they've already lost to the Hornets once this month. So they've literally beaten the 2 least impressive opponents that they could in this entire span of March. It's been brutal. But finally, this nightmare is over. It was not fun. I was getting to a point, though, where I was watching Duke today. I'm like, all right, we've already been through a 10. Can I get through 12 more? Because there's no end, it seems like, in sight. None of that nonsense. It finally comes to an end. And now we set ourselves up for a big-time matchup. And what I would say to Jimmy Butler and the Warriors is, don't lose. Don't come out here with your whole, it was just fun, it's not that big a deal, another game, and then you cute with your little Warriors discount plaque and lose that game. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is you guys are riding high. Since the trade, it's all been going good for you. Don't lose to Andrew Wiggins, because we've all forgotten it's a revenge game, but Draymond Green did mention this too. It's a revenge game for Jimmy Butler, but it's also a revenge game for Andrew Wiggins, who they all had crocodile tears. Oh, I can't believe we're losing Wiggs. Oh. And then all of a sudden, you guys dropped him like a bad habit. So all I'm saying is don't lose that game. But, shout out to Andrew Wiggins. I have been tough on this stretch. And look, I think I said this throughout this thing. Is like, I don't think this is all Andrew Wiggins' fault. It's just tough when you get traded and the team is 4-17 since they make the trade for you. You miss a ton of games. But obviously when you watch him, you're like, this guy looks like an incredible basketball player. You could just see it. I think it's just a matter of the Heat have to lean into, hey, dude, take over. We're all for it. You can get buckets all the time, especially when the shooting gets a little bit hot. Because it did start a little bit clunky for him, and I understand that he's trying to find his spots and he's playing in and out through injury. The thing that was just odd about Andrew Wiggins is it just felt like every game, he puts up some pretty impressive scoring nights for the Miami Heat since he's been here. But you'd be like, I would say the vast majority of them were all either in the first half or they'd all just come in one quarter. Today, he was able to space it out. You go and he gives you 10 in the fourth. He gives you 15 in the third quarter. In the second quarter, where the game really flipped, he goes out there, he gives you 9. Just kept it going throughout the game today. And I think that was the impressive thing with Andrew Wiggins today, is just there was a relentlessness. There was always looking for his shot. And the Miami Heat need that. They absolutely need that from him to get any kind of a run going for them. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of emotions piped in, and we can get into more of that, tomorrow in the lead up to this stuff. But ultimately, just getting this monkey off their back and finally putting this behind them, ultimately just getting the hippopotamus off their back is huge. This whole longest losing streak of Eric Spoelstra's career is finally over. Their nightmare is over. We can see if they can keep this thing going and get a little bit of a run ski going. Obviously, you got the Warriors game coming up on Tuesday, and then, it does lighten up a little bit for a few games. I mean, Atlanta's right there with you, but then you got a Philly and a Washington, so you can see some daylight here for Miami, who, has been playing some pretty close basketball this whole week, and it finally kind of broke through for them. And you just have to wonder from a mental standpoint, just getting to the finish line of a game, will that do better for him? Because obviously the opponent and the competition is nothing to write home about. You've beaten 2 teams in Charlotte and Washington this year. It's like you might have been able to roll out the Sioux Falls Skyforce and make that happen. That same record. Maybe not. Maybe you would have gone 0 for the month. But if you were to guess, hey, if you asked everybody, you played the Sioux Falls Skyforce for the entire month of March, what would be the games that they could get? You would be like, they would get one Charlotte game and one Wizards game. And you would be correct. But it was great to see it happen in a fashion like this with Andrew Wiggins, who, I mean, just incredible back-to-back performances. Ira Winderman tweeted this out. Andrew Wiggins, he says, per Heat, Andrew Wiggins is the first player in Heat history to have at least 42 points, 6 3-pointers, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block in a game. Tremendous. Just really did everything for them and was a catalyst in every which way. Whew. This is so unfamiliar. I don't even know what to do with my hands, dude. This is crazy. Miami Heat finally back in the win column.